What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Falaz Speaks back for another video. Now, I'm going to start off apologizing to everybody out there, man. Listen, I've been trying to do this to go live. I really have. Man. I want to do it every single day, but like this week, really crazy. Your boy just didn't had all types of stuff to do, had to work. Um, but listen, we're going to do this. We're going to get through this, man. We're going to get through this. We got a lot to talk about, for real. And I got to do a couple of lives. But right now, we got the NFL playoffs coming up. And that's where we're going to put most of our focus. But first, we're going to talk about some suckers. That's what we're going to talk about real quick. And right there, you can see I got Penn State versus Notre Dame up there. And this is the reason, listen, I'm a Notre Dame fan. I'm a Nittany Lions supporter, but trust me, for real, right? That Nittany Lions place is not too far from where I am, not too far from where I've worked in my life. I pass the campus all the time. I know they went through their little weird stuff of about a good decade ago and all of that, and we're trying to get past it. We done got past the Joe Paterno era, and then now we moved on to this dude, Franco, and Lord have mercy, I don't understand what's happening with this team. Penn State is still one of the best programs in the nation, no doubt. We still kick out the linebackers like no other place. It is still linebacker you. That boy, Abdul Carter, is a monster. If I could have it my way, the Philadelphia Eagles would grab Abdul Carter with their pick. Straight up. Best player in the draft to me. I know about Shedeur Sanders. I know about him. I know about Travis Hunter. But for my money, that boy Abdul Carter for Penn State is the truth. Yesterday, this boy had a bad shoulder, bum shoulder. Went out there and was the best player on the field for me. Problem with Penn State right now is two individuals that I'm going to point out. Number one is that dude, James Franco. Now, Franco didn't have the worst game in the world calling plays, but he wasn't good. But I don't even blame Franco necessarily for last night, because when Penn State started the game out, they tried to go to Drew Aller, the quarterback that we have, that I've been told for the last 3 years was the next coming of Josh Allen. This is stuff I heard because, I follow Penn State as far as their recruitment and everything, and this is what I heard. That this boy, Drew Aller, was the next Josh Allen. You know Josh Allen, that dude in Buffalo that is probably going to be MVP this year, right? And I guess they're just looking at his size and his frame and his skin complexion and figuring that he's Josh Allen, but I don't see it. I don't see no Josh Allen talent. I don't see no Josh Allen brain. I don't see no Josh Allen, man. I don't see the mentality of a Josh Allen. Josh Allen would have ran that team to a win. There's no way that if you Josh Allen that you don't put up 40 on that damn Notre Dame team. This is nowhere near the best Fighting Irish team I've ever seen. See, I go back to Major Harris and all of them. I remember the Brady Quinn years. I remember everything in between. I remember Rocket Ishmael. That's how far I go back with Notre Dame. And I hated them ever since Rocket Ishmael, even though I like Rocket. Okay? This was nowhere near the best Notre Dame team I've seen. I don't know for the life of me why this Notre Dame team is actually in this playoff situation. But last night they showed me a little bit. Notre Dame showed some heart. They showed some fight, man. The quarterback they got, man, I don't know if he will be in the NFL. I don't know if he will be an NFL-level quarterback. I can't tell y'all that, but I can tell you last night that boy showed me some heart. Heart is something, man, that, like, for a quarterback is indispensable. It is a must. Clutchness is a must. Focus is a must, and that boy showed that. The boy Notre Dame got. And the guy that Penn State guy just did not. Drew Aller didn't show me none of that, man. Shout out to number 10, the running back wide receiver that Penn State got. He's a guy I would love for the Eagles to pick up. 3 touchdowns. Hell of a game. He was running all over the place. He could be a great gadget guy, I think, in the NFL. It's the next level. And that's the one thing when we start talking about the Philadelphia Eagles that I feel that the Eagles are missing is a nice gadget guy. I was hoping that Aeneas Smith, number 82, that we picked up, the rookie, could be that. I was hoping Isaiah Rodgers could do a little bit of that, but I don't know. For whatever reason, the Eagles not going that route with those players. Maybe they don't feel we have to. That's fine. But I think a gadget player, if you throw him in the middle of the all-star team that the Eagles have, be damn near perfect. But anyway, Penn State loses. They drop it to Notre Dame. They lose by 3. It ends on a Notre Dame field goal. What you going to do, man? Overall, shout out to the Nittany Lions, I guess, man. They stayed ranked top 5 throughout the whole season. They still lost to damn Ohio State, which pisses me off because when you're Penn State and you're hiring a coach, that coach is hired specifically to do 2 things. Number 1 is to beat Ohio State. Number 2 is to beat Michigan. If you coming into Penn State, you are a coach, and you don't beat neither one of them teams, bro, I don't know how good you are. I don't know if I need you. Because you playing like a monster all year, okay? And then as soon as you go up against the big boys in the Big Ten, I mean, you beat Iowa, okay? We've been beating Iowa for years, beat their line now, we take care of them. But then as soon as you're going up against Michigan or Penn State, all of a sudden you don't know how to play no damn football, man. Let me bring my boy on real quick, man. Solo here. I want to hear what you got to say about this, bro. I want to hear what you got to say about this Penn State, man. I know Penn State is near and dear to your heart like it is to me. And we don't talk about them much. And this is the damn reason, because I know what the end result is. I'll be pissed off. Right. And I try to stay away from that kind of energy, man. And talking about Penn State, all they do is bring me that type of energy, man. So what say you?
This is what I don't understand, right? Me personally. My point is, all right, I believe in 2 types of quarterbacks: the athletic quarterback and the pocket passer. Right? I think it's rare if you can get one that can run and throw. I think that's a rare combination. Yeah, I mean, if you can get it, that's great. But if not, if you're going to go with a pocket passer, he must be a precision passer. You understand what I'm saying? This guy, Drew Allard, is not a pocket passer in my opinion because he can't throw the ball. I don't understand what type of quarterback that's supposed to be a pocket passer that can't throw the ball. That's mind-boggling to me. And we was running the ball excellent yesterday only because he couldn't throw the ball. He was missing wide open throws. I mean, we could have blown this game off. He was just an average passer. And this is mind-boggling to me because I see it all the time. People like, the guy who was with Tennessee Titans that came to the Eagles. What's his name?
Mariota.
Mariota. He can't throw the ball, yet he survives in the NFL. I don't understand that. I'm tired of quarterbacks that can't throw the ball in these prestigious positions. Drew Allard need to go. Bottom line. If I'm the coach, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to get 2 types of quarterbacks coming out of high school. I'm going to get a pocket passer, and I'm going to get a runner. If the pocket passer can't, if he's not doing his job, I'm putting the athletic quarterback in there. We're going to just run it and do plays like that. Because we are handcuffed if this guy can't throw the ball. I've never seen nothing like it. How do he survive in college? That's the one job I'm asking you to do. I don't understand it. This guy cannot throw the ball. So I'm like, I don't know. I can't blame James Franco because the quarterback is horrible. He really is a horrible.
All right, what do you say about this though, right? So just in case somebody push back though, today to Drew Allard's numbers, he had a quarterback rating of 153, 24 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. He completed 66.5% of his passes, and for 3,327 yards. You know what I mean? Average 8.4 yards per attempt. Not bad, right? Maybe he just had a bad day. Would you say to people who see that?
Well, I judge him when it comes to good competition. Ohio State, Michigan, and teams like that. Notre Dame is not even that good to me. Yet he couldn't do nothing with them. Like it's not like they was blanking. Like he was overthrown wide open touchdown. Receivers like 5 yards in front of there, and It was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. Yeah, I mean, good quarterbacks don't have horrible games. They may have horrible quarters, or they might have horrible 2 quarters, maybe even 3, and in the 4th quarter they step up. He couldn't do nothing the entire game. He just
Yeah, man.
struggled.
Yeah, I ain't even gonna hold you, man. His numbers is 12 or 23, 135 yards. Just real quick. Yeah, yesterday he was 12 or 23, 135 yards, which is a completion percentage of 52.2%. His longest pass was for 27 yards. And yeah, that wasn't good yesterday, bro.
I don't think Notre Dame quarterback was great, but he can get it done when it counts.
Right.
I mean, it's like he got this heart. Like he gonna get it done.
He put in like a Tim Tebow type performance. What you call it? And Tim Tebow was a great college. He was a great college quarterback. You know.
And it's all you need in college to get it done. You don't really need this need a guy to get it done. He may not go to the NFL, but I need college play. All right, this is what I want you to do. And this guy just he could the whole game he just couldn't get it done. That's why I can't blame the coach, because I need the coach to put you in position. And if the quarterback can't get it done, there's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can do, because you could have scored on the team a lot, but the guy, he just couldn't get it done, man.
And my man, the GOAT Michi brings up a good point. He said, and one pick that was called back, that guy threw the ball in triple coverage in the red zone. Yeah, that was a major bad pick that was called back, right? It could have been even worse. Ain't that something? All right, man. Enough of them, man. We got to go on to some real business here. I just had to say a little something about them guys, man. We're going to deal with right now is the NFL playoffs. That's really what we're here to do today, man. Because that is the story of the week. So right now we have the wild card rounds. All right. So the first game we're gonna go through the NFC. So start with the AFC, because the most important grand finale is our Philadelphia Eagles, of course. So the first game tomorrow, which we have at 4:30 on Saturday, is the Los Angeles, right? The San Diego Chargers going up against the Houston Texans. All right. And let me see. Personally, the Chargers have had a good year. I like to say just briefly about them. Last season didn't even make the playoffs. Brought in Harbaugh. I always get them dudes messed up. Jim Harbaugh, this is the Harbaugh, of course, that played, back in the day for the Colts. The other Harbaugh in John Harbaugh, of course, is the one who used to be the Eagles special teams coordinator. But anyway, they got him a good coach. I like what he did as far as dialed back a lot of what they were doing with Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert, one of the guys you would say probably one of the most talented quarterbacks in the league in terms of, he has the size, he got the arm strength, got all of that kind of stuff, got the mobility and everything. But for the most part, I would say has underachieved in his career compared to, what people projected for him. If you look at a lot of his stats versus what he's actually accomplished, makes you wonder. And you can't even say the Chargers are a team that were a bereft of talent. Unlike many quarterbacks, Justin Herbert was given good wide receivers. He had Mike Williams, coming out of the draft. He also had Keenan Allen. He also had Austin Eckler for years as his running back. I can't really speak too much to the offensive line. Maybe it wasn't the greatest line, but he's not a guy that was bereft of talent. But what I like about what Harbaugh did was he dialed a lot of the passing game back. He kept it really simple, established a running game, put together a nice defense that puts Herbert in a situation where he's more capable of succeeding. But for me, I think it all ends here tomorrow. I believe the Houston Texans going into Texas in this situation. I don't know that the Chargers are going to win that game. Now, CJ Stroud, of course, leads a team that for the second year in a row, I believe they won their division. Um, and they're looking to actually advance past the playoff game. Now, I know CJ Stroud has somewhat of a sophomore slump in most people's opinion. I don't view it as a sophomore slump. I think CJ Stroud is still CJ Stroud. However, what happens is in those second years, when these rookie quarterbacks come out and they put up all these amazing numbers, and people start jumping the gun and claiming that they're better than established quarterbacks who've been doing it for years, like you've heard CJ Stroud last year. Oh, he's better than Dak Prescott. He's better than Jalen Hurts. He's better than Kirk Cousins. He's better than all like. I heard what the hell is his name, man? The guy that used to play for the Packers, not James Jones, but the other one, Greg Jennings. I heard him on the show First Things First with Nick Wright and Chris Broussard state that CJ Stroud was the second best quarterback in the league after Patrick Mahomes. This is what he was saying last year. Just to keep receipts on a lot of these guys who's supposed to be experts. This is what he was saying about CJ Stroud. Last year, you can go back and check my videos. I was already telling y'all. CJ Stroud will be a great NFL quarterback. However, all this jumping the freaking gun, calling rookies the second best quarterback in the league, top 5, elite, and all of that is stupid. It's stupid. And no person who really knows football does that, But this is what they got on TV. But what's happening with, I would say, CJ Stroud is, you're now in a situation where you're in your second year. Teams have film on you. They have a whole year film on you. They know your strengths. They know your weaknesses. They know your tendencies. So now what they do is they put together a game plan designed to stop you. And they're much more equipped to do that now. And this is all that happened with CJ Stroud. And now it's the job of the Texans to now counter what those teams did to counter him from year one. That's all it is. He's not a worse quarterback. And I really wish people would learn how to distinguish these things. And I don't know what it is. It really surprised. I don't mind when this layman who's speaking, do that. But, when you're a professional and you talk about football for a living, I think you should have better perspective and better understanding. It cannot all be about sensationalism and everything on television. But at any rate, my point is, I like the Texans in this game. I think at home that helps. I think the experience factor that they had from last year and the disappointment from last year will help. I think DeMeco Ryans will have a nice, sound plan together to deal with Justin Herbert. And I think Herbert and Harbaugh being in the first year of their program, I don't know that they're ready to move on to the divisional round of the playoffs. I actually like the Texans in this game a lot. I see it as a score. Pretty low scoring game. I like the Texans 21-17. What say you? You there?
I think they moved the game to Arizona because of the fire.
They moved the game. Okay.
If I'm not mistaken. Who's home?
Well, no, the Texans, I believe, are home. Let me make sure. Yeah, Texans won their division, so the Texans have the home.
All right, so I actually like the Chargers. I think their running game gonna be more valuable in this game than any other game because I like the coach. I like John Harbaugh. I think he's a good coach. I think DeMeco Ryan gonna lose this one, unfortunately. And I like him too. I want him to succeed.
So what's your score?
The Chargers gonna get this one.
What's your score?
Low scoring, like
20 to 15?
21-17.
21-7. That's the same damn score I got, but I picked the Chargers, the Texans. All right. So now we got a big time game that a lot of people are looking forward to, rather. And that is the Pittsburgh Steelers, all right, who are now the Russell Wilson-led Pittsburgh Steelers, who Kind of in somewhat of a rebuild, or not rebuild, but more so like a retooling. Now they did make the playoffs last year, or they did have a winning record last year, as Mike Tomlin always does. That organization, like I said, one of the, in my opinion, from top to bottom in terms of operations since the beginning of the dawn of the NFL, I believe the Pittsburgh Steelers is the best run organization consistently. They're pretty much relevant in every decade, whether or not they win titles or not. They're always kind of their team you got to concern yourselves with. So there's no surprise to me that the Pittsburgh Steelers were able to add Russell Wilson and make the playoffs, put themselves in this situation. However, I think I like the Ravens in this game. Now, I know the history between the two. They do a damn good job of making Lamar think. They do a damn good job of causing Lamar to hold the ball and to uncharacteristically make mistakes and to struggle. I do expect some of that to happen. I don't know that it will be enough to beat what the Ravens have to offer. When you look at what the Ravens are coming with, you're talking about Derrick Henry, a top 2 running back in the league. Over the last decade, he may have been the best running back in the league. You're talking about him coming off a hell of a season, 1,900 yards. If it wasn't for Saquon Barkley being otherworldly, people would be saying Derrick Henry is the best running back in the league right now. I can see a heavy dose of that. Now, the Steelers are one of the better teams at stopping the run. However, when you talk about the Ravens running game is very unorthodox. Lamar is very similar to in his effect of the running game is very similar to Jalen Hurts in that you don't know if Lamar is going to keep and run. You don't know if he's going to hand it off to Derrick Henry and he's going to run. So it's a very unorthodox running game. I do predict Derrick Henry will have a good game tomorrow running the ball. I know he struggled last time against Pittsburgh, but I just think they're going to have to a number of things I think are going to happen. Number one, I think they're going to adjust to the running scheme. I mean, it'll be far stupid for them to use the same running plays. He should come with a different style of running plays, as well as the Steelers. I think they've been getting beat up, man, lately. They had a brutal schedule, especially down the stretch. A lot of people, I think, unfairly criticized them for losing certain games. Whereas, I mean, their stretch was brutal. I mean, you're talking about having to play the Eagles and had to play the Ravens and, teams like that on consecutive weeks. That is not easy just from a physicality standpoint. Lamar, I expect Lamar to come out with something to prove for real. Lamar's been hearing all the chatter about how he's not good in the playoffs, that all this regular season shit that he does. He got to prove it. So I expect Lamar to come out and have a big game. I expect Henry to have a big game. And I actually expect this game, maybe they'll get off to a slow start, but I kind of expect the Ravens to run away with it and somewhere in that second half. And my score for this game is more like I think Baltimore do. I think they crack 30 points. So I'm going to say about 33-17 for the Steelers. I think they're going to have a lot of trouble scoring. Baltimore, ever since they've taken Hamilton and put him back at safety, they have been a top defense in the league by the numbers, because the Eagles had a couple of games where they allowed Washington to score and all of that. By the numbers, Ravens have had the best defense since around week 11 or so, week 10 or 11. Once they put Hamilton back there. So I say 33-17. What's your opinion on this particular game? Steelers Ravens.
The first 2 times Steelers and Ravens back. Can you look that up to see who was the scorers both of those games?
Let me see.
Because I remember one time Steelers just really held them to like really low numbers.
Yeah, they always do. Yep, they always do. Yeah, the first 18-16. Actually, this happened in November. And the other game, but their game's always like that. They're like Cowboys Eagles in terms of their rivalry. They got a serious hate going on. And that was the game that the Steelers were able to win. The other game where Baltimore won. I'm trying to find that score. Let me see. I got you. 1 second.
So the first game, the Steelers won that game.
Right, and then Baltimore won the second one.
Baltimore won the second. Because I
Yeah,
think this is a pivotal game for Mike Tomlin because he has to come through this game, or like they're gonna have to start thinking about doing some changes at the coach.
think so.
And I think that they've been playing so bad lately. Steelers have to get together. Russell Wilson have to get together. And they got the ability to stop Baltimore because they've been on the tier lately. So I think this is gonna be an interesting game. Interesting. Lamar can't afford to lose this game. Like it seems like neither one of them can afford to lose this game. That's why it's gonna be real dramatic. So I think it's gonna be a close game, like a 15-13 game. And I think that whoever have the most turnovers is going to lose. So I would pick Baltimore based on their offensive firepower. So I pick Baltimore. But even though I'm not fully invested in Baltimore, but I picked them to win this game, and then in the close game, 15-13.
And by the way, the last game, Baltimore was able to run away with it 34-17 in the second matchup when they played each other. All right. So now so next we got this is the first Sunday game. All right. The other games the other two games are tomorrow. Tomorrow Sunday we got the Denver Broncos versus the Buffalo Bills. All right, in Buffalo. Now, this is a game where I expect the Buffalo Bills to win rather handily. But and then I'd say the main reasons are Josh Allen is a guy that definitely is on the clock. Not on the clock as if he'll lose his job or anything like that, but in terms of the way people view him in playoff performances, he's on the clock along with Lamar, in my opinion. You know, you just have to win the freaking game. Now, the way I believe this game will go, I see it being really tough first half. I don't see a lot of scoring in the first half because the Broncos got a defense, and their defense is for real. All right. You're talking about one of the best defenses in the league this year. Now, the matchup that I think favors Buffalo is the Buffalo Bills defensive coordinator versus Bo Nix, the latest guy that has been affected by the quarterback whisperer Sean Payton. But Bo Nix, in my opinion, should be rookie of the year over Jaden Daniels, honestly. Well, it's actually close between the two. But I think he doesn't get talked about enough. I think Jaden Daniels is a little overhyped, whereas Bo Nix isn't talked about a lot. And I think a lot of it has to do with draft placement, where they were drafted. I like the young kid. Huh?
You know what Bo Nix is drafted at?
Somewhere around 10 or something like that. I think I would have to look it up to see exactly where. But he's a very impressive quarterback. He's able to, same like Jaden Daniels, able to get Jaden Daniels, able to get his team to I remember him last year. Remember he was Oregon's quarterback. Remember when he tore up Colorado? Remember we watching that game? I just remember his name, Nix, but he out there balling, man. I just don't know that he's ready for Buffalo in this situation right now. It's kind of like reminds me of the 2021 Philadelphia Eagles when we got to the playoffs, and we had to go face the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, that first game. I got a feeling it's going to be something like that, where it's just more of the situation is just a little overwhelming. Now, the difference is you got Sean Payton and we had Nick Sirianni. We had Sean Payton. We not losing the Super Bowl in 2022, in my opinion. next to me, there's three quarterback whisperers I think are just the best, probably alive now. Well, not talking about like guys like Bill Walsh or anything like that, but I think they are John Gruden, Andy Reid, and Sean Payton. I think they are the best quarterback whisperers I've seen. Um, like these guys will take damn near any quarterback, and you're gonna have competent quarterback play in that year. And I do see that. I do think that he'll have them ready, but the Bills feel more destined to me I wouldn't be surprised if the Bills were able to make it finally get over that Kansas City hump and be the team to represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. That wouldn't surprise me at all. I'm actually thinking about putting some money on Buffalo to be the team to represent the AFC. So I like the Bills in the game, though I don't think the Broncos will be horrible because Sean Payton's always going to have his team ready. I just think the Bills kind of run away with it later. Josh Allen seems like a man on a mission, so I'm going 26 to 20 Bills. So what you say about this game?
Did they play earlier this year, Buffalo and Broncos?
I don't think so. Oh, they might have, though. Matter of fact, because the Bills did play the Broncos. Let me see. I mean, the Bills did play the Chiefs, so let me see.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Denver got a good defense.
Denver has great defense, yeah.
That's going to carry a long way.
No, I don't see the Bills play. No, they did not play the Broncos earlier this year.
All right. Well, I got the Bills. They're the only team. I got them in Baltimore actually going to take out Kansas City. So I need the Bills to win this game if they're going to take out
Need
Kansas
them to win.
Yeah, I need them to win this game because I don't think Broncos can take out Kansas City. I think they're too young and inexperienced.
Right.
So I'm rooting for the Bills to win. I think the Bills.
Now, whoever takes them out, they got to go into Arrowhead. So the only guy I can see doing that is Josh Allen and the Bills. And I love Lamar. I don't know. He can. I'm not gonna say he can't. I haven't seen it. Even in the regular season. My bad. What's that? I didn't hear.
I think Josh Allen beat Kansas City before, but the defense took the game and lost it.
You talking about the playoffs that a couple years ago? Yeah, that was ridiculous, man. Like Josh will be ready. They won't lose because of him. Put it that way, Whereas, like, of course, Denver, you don't expect them. That would be magical almost. They would do that. All right. So you got a score for us? No, I'm listening. But I was just asking, do you have a score for this game?
I think Buffalo will run away with it 30-10.
30-10. Okay. All right. Well, that's pretty simple. All right.
Upset this weekend, if so, upset. Not saying that they are going to, but if a team was going to be upset this week, who would it be?
That's a good question. I would like to go through the games, all of them, and then deal with that. Remind me if I forget. But yeah, I would like to discuss if there is an upset. Now I'm trying to think. So far, I think the Chargers is the favorite against. Well, I gotta look that up. I'm not sure. All right. So now we're gonna go to the NFC. All right, which is really where we're concerned with the NFC. And matter of fact, no, we're gonna deal with this game first. We'll deal with Vikings and the Rams. Okay. This is stupidly on the Monday night. I don't know why the NFL did that because, well, at least it isn't the Eagles. But whatever team wins this game, they are at a rest disadvantage going into the next week. Why you do that blows my mind, but that's what they're doing. So you got the Vikings. It's crazy though that the Vikings won 14 games, right? But they have to travel to LA if it's still in LA. They at this point, I believe it's still there. They're saying there's a chance they'll move it. Where Vikings had to play the Rams. Let me see. Wow. I gotta pick the Vikings. Like I do see a scenario where the Rams could win. I think both offenses are very similar in terms of the firepower that they have. Running game, everything. Quarterbacks, you gotta favor Stafford over Darnold. But the key is which defense can be more effective against the other offense. And well, the Rams do have a good pass rush. I like the young boys they got. But it's something about Flores and the Vikings defense, man, that I think gives them the advantage over the Rams offense in this particular situation where I think they can possibly stop them more than the opposite can happen. I like the Vikings in this situation. They've been the more consistent team all year. They've been a healthier team, of course. And I just as much as I would kind of love the Rams I don't even know I love the Rams, but I like the Vikings. Let's just put it that way in the situation. I know they're on the road. I'm not certain if who is the favorite in that. Let me see. Because you would think I wouldn't be surprised if the Vikings are the favorite.
Well, WIP,
But the Rams are at home.
this game to Arizona because of the wildfires. So I don't know if that changes your pick or whatever.
Well, right now it's still they're saying it's still going to be. Oh no, yeah, yep, it is in Arizona. Yeah. Um, I don't know if I don't know if that changes much, only because the Rams don't really have much of a home field advantage anyway. Even in LA, that's one issue. Vikings fans, them jokers do travel, so I don't know. They could outnumber the Rams fans. Rams fandom is very weak for a team that won 2 Super Bowls. It's kind of crazy when you think about it. And the Vikings fans are very loyal. I remember they traveled to Philly, desecrated the Rocky statue, running around talking about Skull and all that corny shit they say, and got their ass kicked. So they're a very disrespectful fan base. They may go down to Arizona, wreak havoc. You know, um, let me see who is. I just want to see real quick what are the betting odds in this game. Um, so the Rams are 2.5 point underdog. Okay, Rams are technically the home team, but what's crazy is because they moved to Arizona, they went from 1.5 to 2.5. So it's almost like a pick 'em anyway. That's what according to Vegas, this game is almost a pick 'em, which I can kind of understand. But I just think the Vikings are one of the most disrespected teams all season. They did nothing really but win, and their losses, just came to teams that it's just understandable you could lose to Detroit, stuff like that. Um, I like the Vikings. I think it'll be a high scoring game for both teams. So I think this will be the highest scoring game of the weekend, actually. I like Minnesota to win about 38-35 over the Rams.
I actually got to take the better quarterback, which is Matthew Stafford. So I would take the Rams 28-21 over the Vikings.
So you're going quarterback route?
We'll have 2 turnovers. That's going to be the difference in the game.
Okay. All right.
It's going to be one of those games where somebody fumbled twice. And that's going to be the difference.
All right. Ain't mad at that. So now, We got the damn Washington Commanders, Washington Redskins versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Let me see. I like Tampa Bay in this game. Tampa Bay is at home, a place that it is a real home field advantage. Washington Commanders will be traveling to Tampa Bay with their young rookie quarterback, who's people are treating like Cinderella right now. Overrated as hell, though I like him, but overrated as hell. So much to the point where people in Philadelphia act like they're afraid of him, even though he looked like trash in the first meeting. And he was set to look like garbage again in the second meeting. But he was able to pull out a victory playing against Kenny Pickett. And because of that, all of a sudden, people are afraid of him. Well, I'm not at all. I still like Vic Fangio as well as the defense versus their offense. I think he will be shown things he has not seen before again. I think he'll be forced to hold the ball again. I see about 8 to 9 sacks in the game. I'm talking about the Eagles against him. I'm tripping, man. I done lost. I ain't got off track thinking about the damn Commanders, man. The damn Redskins. All right, so Buccaneers, Commanders. I like Tampa Bay in the game. I don't know. I think Todd Bowles, and just knowing his reputation against young quarterbacks, I don't see this guy coming in there and carving up a Todd Bowles defense at all. Now, the thing about Tampa Bay is they're not a team that I have a whole lot of confidence in. They really aren't. And I say that because, Tampa Bay will go out there and they'll defeat the Eagles, so even though the Eagles were just totally without their weapons and everything. But they'll go out there, say, for example, and defeat the Detroit Lions, right, which they did. And then they'll go out there and lose, to a damn Atlanta Falcons team, who I think beat them twice this year, I think, So the Tampa Bay is not the most reliable team out there to assume they're going to win anything. But I do like them against a young Commanders team, inexperienced quarterback who's going on the road for the first time. Tampa Bay is very good against the run, so I don't see Jaden Daniels being helped by the run. I see a lot of blitz packages coming at him. Now, supposedly he's great against the blitz. Okay, but this is Todd Bowles. It's a little different. Todd has all his weapons, all his corners, and everything like that. I don't see how the Commanders win this game. And if you look at the Commanders all year, they don't have quality wins against great teams. They barely beat the damn Chicago Bears. They go out there and barely beat the Dallas Cowboys without Dak Prescott. A team that the Dallas Cowboys, who the Eagles were able to dust with Tanner McKee, and Kenny Pickett. The Commanders barely beat them. I think Dallas actually laid down so that they would get a better draft pick, if you ask my honest opinion. I think the Commanders overrated ass. Cinderella season comes to an end right there in Tampa Bay. And I think it's going to be rather handily. Baker Mayfield right now is playing the best football he's ever played in his career. He's better than he's ever been in Cleveland. I think he's to the point now where his mind is level with his arm. So, and then the Washington Commanders, not good against the run. If Tampa Bay goes in there with the mindset to run number 7, I forget his name right now, but he's an impressive running back. I think they grind them out. I think they bully them. And I just like Tampa Bay in the game to win and to cover the spread. I like Tampa Bay. I would say about 26 to about 17 for the Commanders. I give them 17 points. Would you say?
Yeah, I think Tampa Bay gonna beat the Commanders. Even though I want the Commanders to win, so I can play them. But I want to play Tampa Bay too.
Right. This is right. As an Eagles fan, these are two teams that we both want to destroy. We want to destroy both of them. Without a doubt.
You got a lot,
But see, my thing, Yeah, exactly.
Tampa Bay for Hurts, and they don't. They just keep playing him when he's unprepared and unarmed, and that's not cool. Last time they played him, he didn't have neither one of his best receivers. They were both down. Lane Johnson was down. Like, and like, come on, like they gotta just look at it for what it is. And when they played him in the playoffs last year, he didn't have AJ Brown, a top 5 receiver in the league. So
and even more than that, that whole team was terrible last year. That Eagles team, I swear, would have lost to Arizona Cardinals in the playoffs. It don't matter who they played. That Eagles team last year going into the playoffs was going to lose to anybody. I think Penn State would have beat them, and I mean it. That defense
this year is the reason why the defense changed because of that Tampa Bay loss. Because the defense played horrible. If you remember that, we could like tackle anybody. And they took Avante Maddox out and they put Cooper DeJean. And remember that, and that's when everything changed in that Cleveland game. The next game after the bye week.
Yeah, I mean chronologically that did happen that way. Yep. I know I'm in the minority, but I'm of the opinion that the Eagles didn't even really expect to win that game. They were like, look, we ain't got AJ, we ain't got Devontae. I think they were like, or put it this way, they were looking forward to the bye week, I think. I didn't even see fight in the game. You know what I mean? It was just like and it was hot as hell. It was like 110 degrees with humidity. I'm like, oh yeah, everybody their ass whooped. It was just
Hurts out there with a rookie receiver and the tall bull and the guy who just got here, the guy that came from Washington. Like we didn't have a chance to win that game. And yet they act like Hurts couldn't get it done. What are you out there with it? What is he playing with? Like I don't understand it.
I think he could have if you'd at least played defense. You know what I mean? Sometimes you're gonna have a low scoring game, but the defense gotta help, And Baker Mayfield's able to do whatever the hell he want out there. It was crazy. But you're right. These are two teams I would love to play. Now I want to kind of play Tampa Bay more because we got time to play the Commanders. We're gonna play them 2 times every year. Tampa Bay, we need to just stomp them, put a foot on them and turn it, put a foot on their head and turn it, stick their mouth on the curb and just stomp them on the back of their neck. That's what we need to do. Need to get Tampa Bay the hell out of here. All right, so what's your score?
Tampa Bay 28, Washington 17.
28-17. Yeah, I think I said 26-17, so pretty similar. All right, and then of course for the grand finale, the game that of all games that we've all been waiting for, that we've been trying to see, and we make no mistake what this is. We make no mistake what this is. The greatest team in the NFL right now, the Philadelphia Eagles, most dominant football team in the National Football League right now, versus the cheese-headed Green Bay Packers, who come into Philadelphia on a Sunday afternoon at 4:30 to get their ass whooped. Now, where do I start?
Before you get into the game, I want you to get into something before you get, if you may.
I'm listening.
Usually, when a quarterback develops a reputation of he stinks or he's not that good, it's because of why do you think he developed that reputation? Like, what is it about that? Like, let's say before Vinny Testaverde became good at the end of his career, why did he have the reputation of he's not that good? Or before the quarterback that won the Super Bowl with Baltimore, what was his name?
Huh?
You know who I'm talking about, though, right? In 2001,
Yep.
the quarterback.
Yep. Damn it.
1 year he was with them for 1 year. He won the Super Bowl, and then they cut him.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Now, before he went to Baltimore, he had he developed like he's a bum.
Yeah.
Why did they develop those things before they went? Before why? What was the reason?
All right, now I will deal with that while getting into the game.
All right.
Okay, so Tampa Bay coming into Philadelphia, 4:30. Now, why did Philadelphia Eagles will win this game, and why it will be probably the most dominant looking game of the year? Because number one, the Green Bay Packers are coming in without Christian Watson. That's number one. Okay, so now you have Jordan Love is going to have Jaden Reed as his best weapon. He'll have his tight end. Then you have backups, second guys. Now he has a receiving core that I actually respect. A lot of people act like since they're not big names, they're not that big. I respect these guys. Okay. Josh Jacobs is going to come in. Their best chance of winning the game, in my opinion, is to run a ball control type of offense where they're handing the ball out to Josh Jacobs upwards to 30 times a game, and you grind the Philadelphia Eagles down. You keep the ball away from the most disrespected quarterback in the NFL, Jalen Hurts, and the Eagles offense, which is the most disrespected offense in the NFL, even though they rank 8th in the league, which last I checked makes them, upper echelon offense. But, according to the people I'm hearing, Eagles offense is just underperforming. Whatever. Okay. Now, the reason why that won't happen is because, number one, the Philadelphia Eagles are actually very good against the run. They have guys in the middle, Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, who is an all-pro, as well as Milton Williams, who comes in and out for them, as well as my other man with the African name, who's a beast who comes in. All right, we got Nolan Smith that is actually emerging as one of the best young edge rushers right now in the league, along with Josh Sweat, who was going to come in and do his thing, right? You got that number two. You got two linebackers. One should be a Pro Bowler. The other one should be all pro. Unfortunately, one made the Pro Bowl. Now the all pros have been announced, right? Which we need to talk about. Is Zach Bond one of them? I got to check. But if he's not, that's a damn travesty. It's bullshit. And it's what they do because, they don't like the Eagles. They don't, But at any rate, the Green Bay Packers, number one, won't do that. They'll try. It won't happen. Then they'll try to go to the passing game. But without Christian Watson, I don't see how you carve up a defense that right now has been tops in the league against the pass. Okay, when everyone is healthy, when you got Quinyon Mitchell in there, and you got Darius Slay healthy, and you got Cooper DeJean in the middle, just running around doing all types of shit, right? Whether it's tackling, whether it's guarding, whatever it is. I don't see how Green Bay really has much of a chance in this game. And I know it seems like I'm sounding like just an Eagles fan, but I'm just really serious. I don't see how they have much of a chance in this game when they come in here. The Green Bay Packers are a team all season who has never shown that they could beat a top team. I mean, just even a top team that's like a contending team, they just haven't shown. They were swept by the Vikings, a division rival. They were swept by the Detroit Lions, the division rival. They were defeated by the Philadelphia Eagles already. What more do I need to talk about? This is a game that the Philadelphia Eagles will dominate for the most part. I think the first quarter you might have a little bit of something. I think at most we might give up a big play, one big play that happens because Green Bay is going to take their shots. Love has one of the best arms I've seen, in my opinion. So I think they're going to take their shots and they might hit a big play here or there. But for the most part, I don't really see how Green Bay matches up well enough to win the game in Philadelphia against an Eagles team that is on a damn mission. They're on a mission, bruh. Like, people worried about whether or not Saquon was going to break a record or not. Eagles ain't worried about none of that bullshit that people worried about. Right now, listen, we get in the Super Bowl, we're gonna win. Now, there's one little thing that does kind of concern me with the Eagles. There's only one thing, and that is the health of AJ Brown. AJ Brown reportedly had to leave practice early, the leg, and I knew it that this was going to be an issue because them dirty ass fucking Pittsburgh Steelers in that game, you know, besides the cheap shot that Fitzpatrick had put on Saquon where he went at his knee, you also had a dirty ass tackle by that cornerback on AJ Brown towards the end of that game where he did the tackle. That hip drop tackle that they're saying is supposed to be taken out of the league, but they never fucking call it on anybody. AJ Brown's knee, I saw it buckle in that game, and I knew right then that shit was going to be some bullshit that was going to linger on. And I actually wish the Eagles would have sat him a little bit for a couple of games, but and that's probably got a lot to do with why AJ didn't want, to play in the game where Saquon could have went and broke the record. I think that was the reason. So that's the only thing I'm concerned with. However, all accounts, Eagles are saying he's going to play. I guess he's going to get treatment after treatment. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully that's not a lingering problem going into the playoffs. And the Eagles were smart to actually allow themselves to have a bye week last week. Okay. Now to touch on the thing with Jalen Hurts here. Right. Now, a lot of y'all I know who come here and listen here, even though not a lot of y'all in here right now. Y'all rather go listen to a bunch of motherfuckers that got hype-ass shows, don't know what the hell they talking about. And that's not a problem. I don't have a problem with that. I'm not hating. But what we've been hearing all over about Jalen Hurts, like if you were in Philly, it's disgusting locally. That we have a local radio station that is fucking disgusting. I hate those dudes. I'm going to roll up on them eventually, right? Because I know they be at Chickies and Pete's. They be at these places. I'm going to roll up on them, and I will be providing a smashing of one of them dudes that I will show to y'all. But all they do is disrespect Jalen Hurts, disrespect him, and I'm still trying to figure out why. I think one of the reasons is some of them are still mad about the Carson Wentz thing not working out. Many of the Carson Wentz, if you were around here, though the rest of the league sees him for what he really is, which is, a quarterback that was taken a little bit too high in the draft. He really wasn't that. But he had a hell of a year in 2017, which I think is a bit overrated, but it was a good year. But his injury obviously changed everything about him in 2017, whatever, fuck Carson Wentz, right? But when Jalen Hurts came in and took over, there was a segment of people, even when they were putting him in, who were already saying that he'll never be like Carson Wentz, right? They already judged Jalen Hurts already. Why? Because of his time at Alabama, completely ignoring his time at Oklahoma, where he passed for damn near 4,000 yards and over 30 some odd touchdowns with a hell of a rating, a hell of a percentage. They don't give a fuck about none of that. They're saying that all they remember is Alabama, where Tua came in. Okay, Tua, a quarterback that is behind Hurts right now in the NFL. They don't care about none of that. All they're looking at is, Alabama. I get it. Okay, but this is what we've been hearing all week leading up to this game. Is Jalen Hurts the weakness on the team? Is Jalen Hurts the guy that's going to hold the Eagles back? Why? Because they saw Kenny Pickett and Tanner McKee come in and play well against backup fucking defenses. They don't even care about the fact that Tanner McKee was lighting up defenses that were backups. But they think that Hurts can't do that. He can't just stand there and just throw balls to open guys. This is the type of mentality we're really dealing with in Philadelphia, even though we've seen Jalen Hurts in the 2022 season put together games that a Tanner McKee or Kenny Pickett never could. Though we've seen Jalen Hurts in the Super Bowl just ball the hell out with Patrick Mahomes to the point where many of y'all were saying he outplayed Patrick Mahomes. These are the things that he has on his resume already. But Philadelphia is a place where we don't care about resume. Well, at least these people don't care about resume, right? All they care about is, I don't know. I really don't know what they care about because we do win, I think they think last year was more what Hurts is more than an aberration. Like, I guess people like myself and the Brotherhead Solo, we see the last end of the year as more of an aberration and more so a combination of a number of things that were going wrong with the Eagles starting from the top, which was how they picked their offensive and defensive coordinators was an issue. Also, some of the weaknesses of Nick Sirianni, which was part of the problem as well last year. Was a problem last year, as well as like the defense. Sports Talk. Let me see something. Let me mute him real quick. Okay. All right. So then we had all those particular issues that were adding on to what we had as a problem with the Philadelphia Eagles last year. But for some reason, locally, all they want to do is say is just Jalen Hurts didn't perform. Right. This is what they like to do. Personally, I ignore them, these types of dudes. And I also see that what they're doing has a good chance of benefiting us in that I think it motivates a guy like Hurts to come out and really ball out and really, really go crazy. But now just to touch on what Solo talked about was he's trying to get to why is Jalen Hurts viewed the way he's viewed. And to put it quite shortly, I don't know, but this is what I think. I think Jalen Hurts has the reputation of being a quarterback in the eyes of people that is either mediocre to not that good because, number one, his year at Alabama, which people are not seeing properly. Okay, number one, he started as a red shirt freshman for Nick Saban. Do you know that Nick Saban does not start red shirt freshmen? He started Jalen Hurts. You know one of the reasons he started Jalen Hurts? Because Nick Saban, unlike many of your many of your coaches who ain't never won nothing, right? Nick Saban, he looks at more than just these outward things, how many yards he passed for in college, how many yards he ran for in college. Nick Saban actually does psychological tests on his players. I'm muting you on purpose right now because I can pick up some of your background, right? You cool. I'm unmuted in a minute. All right, so he did a psychological examination on all of his players, top one to the least. And the examinations came back, and the player whose examination was closest to Nick Saban's was Jalen Hurts'. He said that Jalen Hurts' mentality on the scale, he has the mentality of a Navy SEAL sniper. Now, these were his words. This is what the person who does the examination said. This is the mentality Jalen Hurts had. The mentality of a Navy SEALs sniper, meaning he's focused, hyper-focused on the target, hits the target, does all these types of things. And Nick Saban is smarter than a lot of you motherfuckers. And this is not to insult you. But what I'm saying is a lot of y'all have not come to the conclusion that what separates quarterbacks, the great quarterbacks, from all these other dudes, a lot of it has to do with the mindset. It's a lot of that shit is up here. They say when Joe Montana, who was a dude a lot of people talk a lot of shit about. If you weren't around in the 80s, you don't know. People were telling you John Elway is better than Montana. They were telling you Marino is better than Montana. Some people were saying Jim Kelly's better than Montana. A lot of people believe Randall was better than him, Moon was better than him. And the reason was they say, oh, they can throw farther. Matter of fact, back in the day, back in the 80s, they used to have something called the quarterbacks competition, right? And they used to have all the quarterbacks there. You had Steve Young, you had Montana, you had Randall would go to it, all of that. And now Elway. And they would see who could throw the furthest, who could throw the most accurate. They had different tests, who could run the quickest 40 and all that. And you know who came in first place and all that shit? It was Randall Cunningham. He came in first place because he could throw farther than all those guys. Randall could throw 70 damn yards. He had accuracy, he had speed, all of that stuff, right? But we all know that when it came to football and it comes down to crunch time and when it comes to situations where you got to kind of use this. Now, I'm going to give you this when it comes to Montana over a guy like Randall is he got to play under Bill Walsh's system. I will give you that. But when it comes to money time and I need a drive for a touchdown that is going to seal a game, there was no better dude now than Joe Montana in that situation. He proved it time and time again. Now, Elway was close. Elway was a similar type of dude, but Marino wasn't. Jim Kelly wasn't. Man, Jim Kelly lost 4 damn Super Bowls. All these dudes, y'all think is the shit because of how tall they are, how big their arms is, all this dumb shit. Like, I heard this one dude talking about Tanner McKee. Oh, my God, when he holds the football looks small in his hand. He has big hands and shit. Like, stupid shit. That, like, this was stuff I've been hearing about on the radio all week. Tanner McKee's hands are bigger than Hurts's and stuff like that. Like, yo, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing? So, this is the reason why a lot of people, in my opinion, don't understand the value of a guy like Jalen Hurts. Whereas me, looking at all these quarterbacks, the 2 best quarterbacks I've seen over the last, since I've been watching football, Montana, Brady. Montana and Brady are 2 guys that nobody said are the most talented guys in terms of, like, you get through little sidearm passes, they falling down and get through 70 yards, all that bullshit y'all think is really all that. They don't do neither one of those things. Those are 2 guys that they have a game plan. They come in, they hyper-focus, they do their job, they don't let nothing stop them, no stuff people. Matter of fact, when people talk, that just makes them play better. That's what makes them dudes better than all these other guys, right? And I'm not saying Hurts is that, but what I'm saying is his strength is what's up here. Is what's up here. And the fact that he always got a chip on his shoulder. The fact that everybody thinks he's terrible. All of those different types of things is what makes him better, makes him who he is. And I'm willing to put my money on that than a lot of that other shit like Justin Herbert. Oh, yeah. Golden boy, 6'6", 6'5", long hair, all that, like you think is supposed to be the quarterback. You know what I mean? The golden boy quarterback. I seen them play against each other when Herbert had a better team, and Hurts damn near almost beat him because, like, it's something when it comes to sports. There's something in here, the intangibles that a lot of people don't understand about great players. And then number 2, not only does he have that, he also works harder than anybody. Works harder than anybody. Those are things I believe in. I believe, to answer your question, though, Solo, about why. I believe it boils down to people don't value things like hard work and stuff like that. Most people just believe in talent. I'm just keeping it real. Most people believe in talent, don't really believe in hard work. Like, y'all think Jordan is Jordan because God just made him like that. Y'all believe God just made people like that. And that's partly he gave him a lot of talent and all that. But Jordan had to work hard, hone his skill. Same thing with Kobe and all those different guys. And I believe in quarterbacks that work hard and that have that type of mentality. That's just my answer. But I think most people believe in either you got it or you don't. Either you 6'5", you see over the damn defense, which really you still can't see over the defense, really. Like, every quarterback can tell you that. But people still believe that a dude that's 6'5" can see over every lineman, even though lineman is 6'7" and shit like that. But they still say that. And they think that, it's all about timing. The timing route. He hit the back. Timing. Listen, bro, this is what I'm saying to you, right? From playing cornerback myself, what I understand is, right, the quarterbacks that do everything based on timing are the guys that are going to actually throw more interceptions than the dudes that can do stuff off script. The reason being is, if I'm a cornerback and I'm watching film, right, what I'm paying attention to is all the timing routes. Like, what are you doing? Like, what the route? Once I know your route, I'm going to jump it based on the timing that the quarterback is supposed to throw it. It's not like I'm going to have more trouble with the quarterback that's going to get out the pocket, that's going to buy extra time to get the dude open to throw it. But a lot of people, you judge Hurts off of, like, timing routes. Like, you already saw Kenny Pickett. And this was crazy. This happened in real time because I was watching the Joan and I was watching it on a while I was, and now this is the last thing I'm gonna say before I'm gonna go to the homies here. But I was watching the game where Hurts went out against Washington and Kenny Pickett, right, came in. And I'm looking at people's comments while I'm watching the game. Kenny Pickett comes in, throws a little simple ass pass to AJ, right? And that was that little first little touchdown. And I saw all these people talking about, see, Kenny Pickett throws his timing is better. That's why he threw that touchdown, right? And then what happens is the next drive, when the motherfucker come down, he in the same situation. He tried that same shit and it got picked off. Why? Because the cornerback knows the same timing that the quarterback knows. that the quarterback knows, especially when he's already done homework on the route tree, right? As you don't understand, he threw that same interception. It ain't all about those things, But whatever, man. I'm gonna let whichever one of you brothers want to talk with. Well, Sports Talk, you just came in, so we're gonna want to hear what your take is, just in general. What we've done so far is we've talked about all the games and everything. So what's on your mind, bro?
I'm trying to figure out, what you was talking about the quarterbacks now. That's
Well,
that's
what it
accurate.
was, we were dealing with the Eagles versus Packers, giving our predictions. Solo
Okay.
gave his prediction. I gave mine. Well, matter of fact, he didn't. He will, but I just gave my prediction, and now I'm going to yours. But what I also added to it was a little discussion about Hurts, because pretty much all week, sports radio in Philly, Jalen Hurts is disrespected. He's supposedly the weakness on the damn offense, all this old BS. And I was just talking about that a little bit.
Well, a lot that right there, you already know. That's because people haven't planned for those backup quarterbacks to be in there. So they don't know the defense coordinator don't know the tendencies of that quarterback. They don't know what to really call against these guys. They haven't been playing, so they don't know. So they run the defense that was playing for Hurts, and so they were a little bit successful. They did okay. They got the wins, but it's nothing spectacular. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, Hurts is the one that got us to where we at, and he's been consistent over. Look at his stats. He's been consistent. He's been in the top 5. The top quarterbacks in the league over, so how many years? Over at least several years. So, he got the receipts to back up, what he's showing on the field. What can you say about that? Like, these backup quarterbacks, they coming in, nobody knows what they're gonna do. They haven't game plan for them. And they still having a tough time with that. So it's not like they came in and blew somebody out. They came in, they did what a backup supposed to do. Manage the game, help us win. Don't do too much. Just do what you're supposed to do. We talking about Hurts. You ain't telling Hurts that. You telling Hurts to go out and win.
So who you got in the game? Eagles.
In the game, my prediction, of course, you already know. Philadelphia, maybe by 2 touchdowns.
So my score is 30-17. What's your score?
I'm gonna go 24-10. I'm gonna go 24-10.
24-10.
Yeah.
All right, Solo, you got what you got on the Eagles Packers?
I think the first game we played them, I think it was 34-28. And I think we wasn't half the team we are right now. We beat them the first game. Hurts, the new center fumbled the ball. Remember that? That was like the first play of the game. He fumbled the ball.
You got hell of a memory.
Hurts threw an interception in the end zone. When he was trying to make that play, he was running to the side. It was left, and he made that play, and he threw an interception. Boom. And we beat them 34-28 when Packers had like two broken plays that they scored on. And our defense wasn't half the defense we are now. And the offense, and the Saquon wasn't even established, and we beat them. I think we're the best team in the league. So our defense is number 1 and our offense is number 8. We're going to beat them 30-10.
Yeah, 30-10.
I remember that game. I feel like we look like the Harlem Globetrotters in that game.
What you mean by that?
We was just doing whatever we wanted to do. We was having fun. Yeah. We was having fun, and we was doing whatever we wanted to do. There's no way Green Bay was going to win that game. They knew that. Everybody knew that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was the first defense the game we played that year. The defense really wasn't sound, and we didn't have Cooper DeJean. We didn't have we are a totally different defense. Totally different.
And the experts. If you're a football expert, you know football. I'm not saying I'm an expert, but if you see, I seen an immediate difference in that game than what I saw from the last year. We took a nosedive. I know we took a nosedive last year, but I seen an immediate difference, immediate confidence in the offense in that game that I knew that was going to set the standard for the rest of the year. I saw it, and I saw it on the defensive side too. It just looked different. It looked better, and it looked different. You understand what I'm
So
saying?
let's take a deep dive from last year to this year. Right? Last year we had a new offensive coordinator who didn't know what he was doing. He was promoted from the quarterback coach. And we had a defensive coordinator who didn't know what he was doing. And we had a head coach who had no idea what the hell he was doing. Right? So if you look at last year, to me, the worst part of our defense or of the Eagles was the defense. If I'm lying,
It was the defense. The offense was still putting up points, no matter how difficult it was.
He beat Miami, he beat the Cowboys, he beat
Beat
Buffalo,
the
he beat
Chiefs.
Kansas City. And
Right.
he had to come back and beat them because the defense was so horrible in the first half of those games.
Yeah, we had a good defense last year. We've probably been we probably went kind of far in the postseason. I think that we had a good defense last year.
Hurts walked off the field with the game winner, and then the defense gave up that touchdown at the end of the game.
Right.
They put James Bradbury 1-on-1 with the. It's like so, but everybody said Hurts had a bad year last year. I don't believe they was 10-1. How you gonna have a bad year? You 10-1?
They tend to do that when it's, I gotta say when it's a black quarterback. They tend to do that. They tend to be a little more critical of his gameplay. I see it with Lamar Jackson. I see it with I see it with those guys. So
when you look at when we lost to San Fran and the Cowboys, right? Well, they don't tell you that the defense gave up 11 consecutive touchdown drives. They gave up 5 against San Francisco, and then they gave up 6 against Cowboys the very next game. It was 11. Right. How can you compete with that? Like you got to almost score on every drive with that type of defense.
Right, exactly. Yeah, defense definitely was trash last year, and that's the difference this year. The defense is a lot better. You got a lot of more. You got all pros out there, man. You got some all pros out there. These guys are balling, man. They playing lights out all day. Defensive line, linebackers, secondary. Everybody's balling, man.
Bleacher Report did the survey, right? They put we're gonna pick the weakness on every team, right? Now check this out. Like West say, they say this defense got their weakness is they run defense. Boom. All right. This weakness is the passing game. That's what they said about the Texans. Their weakness is the passing game.
About who? Okay, I'm listening.
How the hell is Jalen Hurts the weak? I said, okay, if he's the weakness, then we go to Super Bowl then.
It's a lot of hate, man. It's a lot of hate, though. That's a lot of hate talk when it comes to Philly, man. It's a lot of hate talk. They got to find something to talk about. And they know that it's been said time and time again, this is the best team in football. And I heard it time and time again from a lot of guys in football, ex-pros, sports enthusiasts or whatever. And I said it a long time ago. Y'all remember, you go back and play the whole lives, man. I said it. This is the best. This is the best team in the league.
Honey,
what's up?
I want you to pull up something before we go off. Because Cam Newton just did a show. He said he's not sold on the Philadelphia Eagles. And you see a picture of Jalen Hurts. See if you can pull that up and see what he has to say.
See that's wild because
who said that?
Cam Newton. And that's wild to me. You know why? Because Hurts wears number 1 because of Cam. Like that was a dude that he looked up to. You know what I mean? And that's wild he would say something like that, man.
Cam Newton, anything come out of Cam, I'm sorry. Anything come out of Cam Newton's mouth.
It could be like clickbait, but I want to see what he had to say before I say something about it while we on air. Because he did say, I'm not sold on he got a picture of Hurts.
He's a big time hater though, man. Cam Newton's a big time hater, man. Big time hater. I gotta say it, man. Anybody that dressed like that, bro, any grown man that dressed like that, he can't talk shit about nobody, bro. Like, come on, man. Anything come out his mouth right now is not credible for me. I don't give a goddamn how many years he played football, bro. He gonna do something mentally, bro.
I think I found it. I'm gonna play it real quick. Hopefully they don't strike me for playing this, but we're gonna see that.
Audio?
Yeah, but that's cool. I'm gonna play it anyway, whatever. But it's pretty far into the show, so maybe not. But I mean, we're gonna go play that now.
What about Jordan Love, who's recovering from an elbow?
Now it was him on First Take today. Is that it?
It's a 4th and 1 with Cam Newton. That's the name of the
All right, but anyway, he might say the same thing. This is on First Take, right? And he's going to talk about the Eagles versus Packers.
He was seen throwing at the beginning of Thursday's practice, a positive sight for fans pondering about his availability for this Sunday's playoff matchup against the Philadelphia Eagles. Another injury from this game to look out for is Jalen Hurts, who was listed as a full participant in practice Thursday, putting the signal caller on track to return from concussion protocol and start, while A.J. Brown did not practice but is expected to play. Cam, do you feel like rust could be a factor for Jalen Hurts?
No.
Is that a real thing?
It is, if it is a thing.
Okay.
You cannot allow him to start slow in this type of game, understanding that he has to make the plays in the pocket. Also, getting guys involved. You got A.J. Brown, you have Devontae Smith, you got guys, Saquon as well as in the passing game. But he can't find himself in a situation in the second quarter he's sitting on just 20 yards passing. Injuries come with playing this game at a high level, but understanding that you don't have that excuse that we had, oh, I'm rusty. This is the playoffs, this is the big leagues, and this is a must-win, not just for the Philadelphia Eagles, Coach Sirianni, as well as Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, especially this time of year when everybody's hurt.
Go ahead, RC.
RC?
Yeah, and that's the thing, too. When you look at this game, though, the Philadelphia Eagles have been here. Jalen Hurts has been here. He understands what it takes to win in these sorts of moments. And I believe they have an extremely tough matchup in Jeff Hafley, the defensive coordinator of the Green Bay Packers, and the way that he brings pressure. And Cam knows this better than anyone. Coming off of an injury like Jalen Hurts had, the Green Bay Packers are going to test him. They're going to want to see, does he want to get hit? How does he respond to hits? And understanding what way Kellen Moore will use him coming out of concussion protocol is extremely important defensively for Green Bay, but we know it's also big for the Philadelphia Eagles because his added pressure in the run game is huge for this team.
Well, listen, you talk about a Green Bay Packers team that's 7th against the run defensively in the National Football League. They're not going to just give it away to a Saquon Barkley. That's not to say he can't go get it because he is spectacular. But if you find a way to neutralize the running game of the Philadelphia Eagles in any way, that's going to require you to rely a little bit more on Jalen Hurts. Now, if you got A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, hopefully, I believe he's going to be ready. You've got in these brothers. You look at this squad, they've got offensive firepower and one of the best offensive lines in the National Football League. It may come down to Jalen Hurts. And if you are Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles, it's about time. We sit here and we talk about Lamar Jackson. Well, let's talk about Jalen Hurts for a second. My brother, got nothing but love for my brother. But here's the deal. You went to the Super Bowl against Kansas City. You performed very well in that Super Bowl. I give him a lot of credit for that. You ain't been that person since. Not that person. And when we look at what's transpiring in the NFC, when we see Detroit, when we see Minnesota, when we see Tampa, when we see the Los Angeles Rams, when we see the Minnesota Vikings, anybody, as you would say, Cam, could come out of the NFC.
Correct.
Well, we're not saying that if Jalen Hurts plays big time. If Jalen Hurts plays big time, if we could sit up here and assume that Jalen Hurts could play on an elite level, we got the Eagles penciled in for the NFC Championship. Period. That's how we look at it. Because we know what the Eagles bring to the table, what Vic Fangio has them doing defensively, what they do offensively. It comes down to him. And I believe you got to make some noise and you got to send a message. Because if you're the quarterback of a team and the opposition's scheme is to rely on you beating them because they don't trust that you'll beat them, that is very disrespectful. You got to answer that call. You got to.
All right. All right, I know we got a lot to say. Now, I found also the clip you said where Cam was talking about you're not sold on Philly. We'll go to that next. But real quick, what y'all got on what you just heard?
I really got no issue with what they got to say. I think Hurts going to prove himself anyway. Even though we beat Green Bay early in the year, they don't even mention that. You know, as a sports anchor, you need to mention those things. Like, he already beat them.
Well,
So,
what do you think about where he said that basically he said everybody, if Hurts can play at an elite level, everybody's penciling the Eagles in, as if he's just hasn't been doing something that he needs to do for the Eagles to win. Now, if you don't pick the Eagles, that's because you're stupid. That ain't got nothing to do with Hurts to me, you know. But, you know,
the crazy part is 5 touchdowns this year, 5 interceptions. Is that not elite? Because I'm confused.
Well, they don't care about the running touchdowns. You know that. All they care about the passing ones. Tush pushes, they act like tush push don't equal 7. That's what they act like. Yep. They never gonna give him credit for 35 touches.
I think I was muted. Am I muted?
Oh, my bad. Yeah. But no, go ahead.
Who was on? It was on me?
No, you go ahead.
Yeah,
Did you hear that joint?
Yeah, Stephen A. He basically was talking in circles. He was basically saying, "Oh, Jalen Hurts. It may come down to Jalen Hurts to win the game." Or what. It's not like he hasn't done that. So, like, what are we talking about here? He's proved he got to the Super Bowl. He's proven that he can put points on the board. He's proven he can change a game. He can change the outcome of a game. He's already proven that. So, what are we talking about here? Then he says, "Oh well, if you find a way to shut down the Eagles' running game, but they got the best offensive line in football." Come on, man. He's talking in circles, man. You know what I mean?
He said they found a way to shut down our running game. Like,
right.
That's the first problem. All right, well,
that's the first problem. You know what I mean? And you ain't gonna.
But this is what gets me though. These guys don't really do their research, or they just sincere. Because if you remember the Baltimore game, Saquon Barkley was struggling. He only had 40 yards in that first half. It was Jalen Hurts who ran 2. Those 14 points we had was 2 Jalen Hurts drives, him throwing the ball. The reason we scored those 2 touchdowns.
Right.
Saquon didn't go over to the second half of the game. Right. But to ice the game, we ran it 14 straight times. So they just looking at the stats and they assuming, hold up, Saquon won the game because we were just running it. But that's not really what happened. If you watch,
that's not really what happened. Right. And they've been saying that.
Yeah.
A lot of yards come in the fourth quarter or the second half.
Yeah, exactly. Icing the game. We really could have scored more if we wanted to.
Exactly.
They
don't understand. Like you're not gonna come in every game and just blow somebody out. So it takes a little while. Okay, what are they doing? What are they doing on offense? What are they doing on defense? Okay, let's attack these weaknesses, and that's what we've been doing. Week in, week out. That's what we've been doing. Attacking weaknesses, and then you see the scores just keep keep going up, and we win it. So that's what it's been. As far as what Cam said about Hurts getting worrying about running or getting hurt. Look, he got up from that hit and was ready to go. The referee made that call.
Yeah, exactly.
The referee made that call.
Or the damn Eagles. Somebody from up top.
Made a call.
Yeah,
because he's a warrior, man. You know what I mean? He took
he ain't coming out.
Back up.
You got to make him come out.
You got to make him come out. So, they just talking this be talking, man. You know what I mean?
Now I got this other clip from Cam that you was talking about. So we're gonna play that.
We're about to get it cracking going into playoff week and weekend. So Cam's power rankings, all right? So you see the games that we have underway. So Cam, with these games for the first round of the playoffs, if you had to choose a quarterback that had the most to prove, who would you choose and why?
Sam Darnold.
Okay.
Because now nothing else matters. Like that, you finished the year in a way where nobody was expecting you to have that type of year.
Yeah.
Now, you don't want to follow that up with a one and done type of situation.
So yeah, he was obviously when he came up to a formidable opponent within the Lions, they lost. And people was like, "Oh, this might be the old Sam Darnold." Well, now they playing the Rams in LA, so we're gonna see if he actually is gonna be proven, a contender or pretender in the playoff season.
Yeah, I look at this as there's 2 quarterbacks in the NFC that could really sneak under the radar and surprise a lot of people. And it's Jaden Daniels.
Okay.
And Baker Mayfield. So that win right there goes off of this merit. You get confidence with winning. Okay, that person will have to play the winner of Green Bay or Philly. And the situation is, it's like, okay, if you win that game, now everybody's looking. Because I'm not so, and I say this with all due respect, I'm not so on Philly as of yet. And the NFC is up for the taking.
Think so?
So Baker Mayfield and Jaden Daniels is on the brink of really potentially doing some things. Now, why do I say that? I say that because it's expected for Jalen Hurts to at least go to the NFC Championship. It's expected for Jared Goff to go to the NFC Championship. Those teams are expected to get there.
Yeah.
But if they fuck off an opportunity and allow a Baker Mayfield or a red-hot damn Washington Commanders, then, oh, shit.
We got something.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not to mention, the greatest edge for home field advantage can be weather.
Mm-hmm.
Go to Philly, but the thing about playing in Detroit, it's a dome.
Mm-hmm.
So that's damn near like a neutral site, taking away the conditions. Now, it's going to be loud as fuck in the D. But they can still, you know what I'm saying, do what they supposed to do.
So you saying home, and that was the next question. It was like home field advantage matters how much? So obviously you're saying from weather conditions, how much does the crowd play advantage? Does the field matter, or being comfortable in that atmosphere? Like how much does home field advantage
All
play?
those things play advantage. And I'm going to tell you another thing that plays an advantage too is, I remember when we was in Carolina and we would have to fly to Seattle.
Okay.
That's a 6-hour, 5-hour flight. It throws off your normalcy of your routine. Mm-hmm. People aren't talking about, you know, there's no extreme kind of flights here that people will have to take, but that's also something to pay attention to. You know, the Minnesota Vikings having to fly to LA.
I don't know, he kind of like a little bit all over the place, and I can't make this just be all about Cam talking. But you heard what he said here. Basically, he's not really sold on Philly, just meaning that he believes that the winner of the Commanders and the Buccaneers could potentially come in and beat the Eagles. Well, I mean, okay, that's your opinion. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. I didn't hear him say anything that was particularly disrespectful that time, so I ain't gonna go in on him too much there. That's just his opinion. And I guess, I don't know, a lot of people look at the game against Washington and they think it was real. I just don't think that was real like that it should be something that the Eagles were concerned with. 1,001 things had to happen in order for Washington to win that game. Number one, Jalen Hurts had to be out. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson had to be out. Jalen Carter's damn near kicked out. And then with all of the advantages that Washington was afforded in that game, it still came down to Devontae Smith, who never dropped a pass all seasons, to drop his first pass of the year in order for them to win. You know, had Devontae catches a pass, the game is over. But to Washington Commanders fans, I guess they got to just feel good about whatever, I understand. But, like, for national people to look at that game and not see it for what it was, to me, blows my mind, especially a guy like Cam Newton. I would think Cam Newton would be able to see that the Eagles will definitely will dominate the Washington Commanders. But, you know, to each his own. That's his opinion. Cool. Put some bread up. I will put up whatever against the Commanders. I'll put up whatever. And matter of fact, I'm so happy that that's the side of the thing that we're drawing. That, you know, I want to take a segment and after y'all give what y'all think about what Cam just said, if you have anything to add, I want to deal with the draw. See, here we got the whole playoff picture kind of mapped out, and I want to deal with that in a minute. So you got anything on that? What Cam has said?
No, I it was clickbait. I thought he was gonna say something about Hurts, but
Now it's still more going on, and I didn't let it get there. It's just you talking too long, you know. But all right, so I don't see Sports Talk real up right now. So if you got anything to say about what Cam said, you good?
Yeah, I'm here, man. Look, I mean, he doing his job.
Yeah, exactly.
He doing his job. You know what I mean? He's I see we got the bracket up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's doing his job because they can't sit up there and say, okay, well, Eagles gonna go in and beat everybody's ass and go to the Super Bowl. They can't say that. You know, they gotta leave some suspense out there for the fans. You know, and be a part of the hype for the playoffs. So, yeah, they know what we know, and most of those guys on those panels, they know what we know. You know, I like Shady because Shady tell you like it is. He tell you like it is. You know what I mean? So, yeah, but that's what it is. You know, everybody knows what's going to happen in these playoffs, man. Philly is going to do their 1-2. As long as they stay healthy, nobody's going to beat this team.
Exactly.
And they rested. So, you know, I think we're going to see history, man. We're going to see history this year, man.
Hope so, bro. All right, so all right, before we go, I just want to get a quick prediction, pretty much overall. So this is going to go down to Super Bowl predictions, Super Bowl winners, and all of that. So first, I want to start out on the right hand corner, where you have the Chargers versus the Texans. Who you think is going to win? And because the winner faces the Chiefs, as you see there. A matter of fact, is that how that shit works? This is throwing me off.
Because the Chiefs are number 1 seed, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That kind of throwing me off the way he did that joint there. Okay, I see how it works. All right,
The
whoever
bottom
wins out of
bracket.
Chargers and the Chiefs, they face the Chiefs. Who you got winning that one? Earlier, I think Solo said that he likes the Chargers. I like the Texans. Who you like to win in that matchup?
Who's at home? Texans?
Yeah.
I got the Texans. I'm gonna go with Texans.
All right, so you got Texans. We're gonna put them in that spot where they face the Chiefs. All right. So then we're gonna go to the bottom right hand. You got Buffalo and Broncos. I think we both like Buffalo.
Yeah, I'm rocking with Buffalo.
All right, so you like Buffalo, and then in the corner, and then in the middle, we got the Steelers versus the Ravens.
The Ravens got experience. They was there in the championship game last year. They trying to get back there. They beat the Steelers.
All right. So the divisional round, we got both at least set up where it's gonna be Baltimore versus Buffalo, and it's gonna be Texans versus the Chiefs. All right, that's the AFC side. We got that going on. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So now in the NFC, there we're gonna start at the top.
Mm-hmm.
We got Minnesota versus the LA Rams. Rams actually are at home, though the game has been moved to Arizona because of the forest fires. So, not forest fires, but the wildfire. Yeah. So, who you got winning that one?
The Rams are hot. They're a hot team right now. I feel like they're going to beat Minnesota.
All right. So I think I picked Minnesota. And so, who did you pick? Did you pick Minnesota too? I forgot. All right, so two y'all picked the Rams, and I got Minnesota. Okay. All right, so in the middle you got Washington, Tampa Bay. I like Tampa Bay. I think Solo like Tampa Bay. Who you like in that game? Washington,
Tampa Bay. They're going to edge them a little bit. You know, they got a little more experience, a little more continuity than Washington.
All right.
But they stopped Daniels from is his name Daniels?
Yeah, Jaden Daniels. Yep.
Yeah. So if he's able to run though, he could change the game. But I got Tampa Bay close.
All right, so you got Tampa Bay versus the Eagles. I think we all picked the Eagles, of course.
Yeah.
So next week is going to be Tampa Bay versus the Eagles, and also the y'all think Rams versus the Lions. I say Minnesota versus the Lions. All right. So now going on to the second round.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be Kansas City versus, I believe most of us picked Texans, right?
Right.
All right. So who you like in that? Who you like, Kansas City Texans?
Chiefs going to make easy work of the Texans.
All right. So you got the Chiefs in the championship game again.
Mm-hmm. Chiefs going to be championship game.
Who you got? Solo Chiefs versus Texans. Unless you pick Chargers, right? So Chiefs versus Chargers. You there? All right. Till he comes back. So then the next game you got Baltimore versus Buffalo. Who you like?
So Baltimore versus Buffalo. That's gonna be a good one, man. I feel like
Buffalo's at home.
yeah, I feel like the Ravens gonna go in there and do their thing.
All right, so you like the Ravens?
Yeah, that freight train they got in the backfield and Lamar Thomas gonna be too much for him.
So you like the Kansas City and Baltimore to be in the
rematch
AFC Championship
rematch from last year. Yep, them two.
Okay, I like that. I like Buffalo to beat Baltimore. I think it's going to be Buffalo and Kansas City in championship game.
That's what they want to see. That's what they all want to see.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Because I just think it's going to be hard for Baltimore beating Buffalo in Buffalo. That's really what I'm looking at. Now, on the NFC side, who you like out of? I think you picked the Rams and the Lions. Anybody there? Everybody going?
I'm back.
You like out of Rams, Lions? Who you picked out of that?
The Rams and the Lions?
Yeah. Or did you pick Minnesota?
I picked the Rams. I see Rams and Lions. I'm gonna go with the Lions.
All right, so you got the Lions making it to the NFC Championship game, and then Eagles versus Tampa Bay.
We cracked Tampa Bay. We cracked them upside the forehead, and we get there, and we get to the Lions.
All right, so Eagles Lions championship, and Kansas City Baltimore. That's what you got.
That's what I
do. All right, so who represents the Super Bowl?
It's gonna be a close game. I say the Chiefs gonna probably edge Lamar and the boys maybe one more time. I like to see the upset though. I ain't gonna lie. I like to see the upset. And then of course the Eagles we're gonna flow right through the Lions. You know what I mean? We're gonna flow through the Lions.
So you got the Eagles versus Chiefs in the Super Bowl again?
Eagles versus Chiefs. Chiefs get by in a close one against the Ravens.
All right. And we're not going to do Super Bowl predictions yet. We just
not yet. Okay.
But we got Eagles and Chiefs. That's what you got. Solo, you there? All right. I don't know what to do. All right. So who you like to make it all the way through?
Like the Eagles to make it to the Super Bowl with the Chiefs. Not with the Chiefs, with Buffalo.
Eagles, Buffalo. Okay. All right.
Easier to pick them, but I think Buffalo gonna beat them.
Yeah. That's pretty much what I got too. I got Buffalo that's going to go through and beat Baltimore. I'll be rooting for Baltimore kind of, but I think Buffalo. It just seemed like Josh is on a mission this year to me. And man, I can imagine it's gonna probably be cold as hell. I know Buffalo get a little bit. I know Baltimore gets kind of cold, but Buffalo is different. That's a different type of cold.
Different type of cold.
If that snow go through that joint, boy.
Ravens defense, man, they can surprise you sometime though.
But I done seen Cincinnati roll up in Buffalo and whoop on their ass too. I done seen that in the snow. So
Buffalo had trouble with the Rams.
Yeah, they did. That'd be a good game. I wouldn't be surprised if Baltimore did beat Buffalo, but I don't know. There's something about the way Josh playing this year, man. When he had to play Detroit, he got that done. When he had to play the Chiefs, he got that done. I just feel like he's on a mission. I got Buffalo getting through to the championship game against Kansas City, because of course Kansas City is going to just probably destroy the Texans. They already did actually a few weeks ago.
Right.
On the NFC side, I got the Lions. Getting through it. Like I would like to go with Minnesota, but I just saw the Lions versus Minnesota. And you can't beat that Lions team. I don't know. I can't pick you. So
there's nobody over there in those brackets that can beat the Lions right now.
I don't know why, but yeah, it seems like they don't. So I got the Lions getting there, and of course the Eagles getting through, facing the Lions in championship game. And I think the Super Bowl was that 59 is going to be the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Buffalo Bills. That's what I like. That's what I feel like.
I feel like the Eagles got a tougher road than the Lions do.
Well, I mean, it's more games. Everybody's road probably a little tougher, but I don't know if they got to play Minnesota, I think that's tougher. I think the Rams is just food for whoever. If the Rams can get through Minnesota, but I got Minnesota beating the Rams. I don't know. I think that's a tough matchup, Minnesota. Tougher than us playing Tampa Bay or Washington. Like I said, people, I don't believe Tampa Bay or Washington. I just think they just not like that personally. But
they both got confidence. Both teams got confidence. The Rams,
that's
Tampa,
fine.
And because they both beat us. You know, they beat us. They both beat us, so they got confidence. They're gonna have confidence coming in.
I don't think so, man. But we'll see.
Yeah, I think they got confidence.
Eagles without both their damn receivers is just, you know what I mean. I think the truest depiction of us versus Tampa Bay is what happened last year in the regular season. You know, when we whooped their ass. I think that's really more like the truth than what happened this past year. No Devontae, no AJ, like.
Mayfield is
going to wake up. Eagles.
Mayfield's going to wake up from his dream. He's going to wake up into a nightmare.
Yeah, I think it'd be more like that.
Yeah, he's in a delusional dream right now, Mayfield. He's in a delusional dream. He's talking trash about Brady. You know, you're not even on it. How can you talk trash about that, man? You ain't won one ring yet.
Yep.
You didn't get one ring yet. So how you talking about Brady? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You talking slick about Brady. So yeah, he's in a delusional fantasy right now. He's gonna be woken up into a nightmare. And if they get past Washington, they ain't getting past the Eagles. We know that.
Exactly.
So
now, if anybody listening in the chat got any comments, man, this is the time to drop them right now.
Solo is muted, ain't he? He's muted.
Yeah, he probably muted himself. He might have been making some noise, So
I finally put my daughter to sleep, so I done misheard the program.
We had talked about Penn State early on, so Jared basically, I guess he was commenting on that. He said Penn State choked. James Franklin showed up yet again in a big game. I don't know. James Franklin, but I get what James Franklin had to do. His quarterback was so bad in the beginning of the year, beginning of the season. Game, he had to start running. Haller was horrible. 4 really good number 11s for Penn State in recent memory: LeVar Arrington, Navarro Bowman, Micah Parsons, Abdul Carter. Yeah, that boy Abdul Carter, man. Boy, he's for me, he's like number one pick. That linebacker Penn State got. I figure this year's draft, I guess either Travis Hunter or might go first. I'm not certain Shedeur is. I thought he would, but how do people acting like they ain't really feeling Shedeur like that? I don't know.
No, don't forget about Cam Ward out of Miami. Cam Ward is a monster. He had a monster season.
Right. What did he do? He the quarterback?
Quarterback, big time quarterback.
Cam Ward. Okay, I gotta research him a little bit. I ain't paid attention to Miami since Ray Lewis and them, man, and Sean Taylor. I need to go hold you, but that's what's up though. That Cam Ward, I gotta check him out.
All right, I'm back.
But Penn State do kick out. Penn State do put out them linebackers.
They do. Always had.
What about Manti Teal, Notre Dame team? Yeah, that was a good Notre Dame team back in the day. Because I was talking about different Notre Dame teams, talking about how I go back to Rocket Ishmael, Major Harris, and all them guys.
Hey, man,
remember them back in the day? We know you still. I give you that because you've been trash for a while, so you're loyal. You're a loyal guy.
You got 5 championships though.
Yeah, you do.
5 championships.
Yeah. Sound like a Cowboys fan right now.
And we played in a lot of championships.
You sound like a Cowboys fan right now.
We ain't win them all. That's all. We just didn't win them all. We couldn't win them all. Hey, look. The U been turning out players for years. Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, the guy, one of the guys in the secondary on the Rams, he's big time. He came out the U.
Long time ago.
You can't sleep on the U.
Long time ago, but I hear you.
No, I'm right now. You do your research. Look at him right now.
You just said Ray Lewis and Ed Reed.
It's a guy. It's a guy that plays for the Rams.
Famous.
It's somebody from the U on every NFL team that's doing their thing.
Okay.
Do your research.
Right KU man.
Yeah.
KU man.
They doing their thing.
Yeah, one day we gotta come on here, man. What happened to him this year though? Like what
No defense. We ended up firing the defensive coordinator. We ended up firing the defensive coordinator because we should have been in the playoffs this year, college football playoffs. We didn't have a defense. They was trash, bro. Trash.
Right.
You know.
I feel you.
What you gonna do?
All right, man. This was a really good stream. We almost on 2 hours though. I gotta get out, get some money. You know. We will be going live again. We got a lot of basketball to handle, and in particular, we're dealing with college, and it's the women's basketball league. Is a lot of the subscribers here. That's what they want me to talk about. So that's what we talk about. What's that?
Beat out again tonight.
And beat out.
Yep.
You know, that's what he do, man. I ain't even talking about no damn Sixers right now. So I'll probably be going live late. Y'all can look out for that. There's a lot going on there. You got the Unrivaled League starting soon.
I gotta check it out.
Yeah, the Unrivaled is good. I like the way they are promoting it right now. They got a lot of good promotion going on. So some good stuff happening with that, man. But you appreciate everybody for coming through, man, and for participating. This felt like a good live. Without a doubt.
I missed it, man. I'm pissed off. I missed it. Most of it.
No, it's good. You
know what I mean?
Participated. So that was good. So I expect some good games, man. And of course we're going to be going live every day tomorrow because you got 2 games tomorrow. We'll talk about them. And then 2 games. Well, Eagles at the Eagles, we definitely got to go live.
Yeah, definitely.
So all right, so with everybody, man, I appreciate coming through. Like I said, peace out.
Peace.